And action. So, why in the world did I use that? One little reason why, or the main reason why, is because of my beautiful girl, Zara, my daughter. So she actually made that for me. We were coloring one day and she said, Daddy, this is for you. And I said, baby, awesome, but what is it? She said, well, you know the thing that they use to start off movies? I figured you can use it to start off one of your videos. So obviously that was heartwarming to me, the fact that she was even thinking about me. She's just very considerate. But I think the main thing that I'm actually taking away from it, beyond the cuteness of how she operates, is the fact that I am recording videos that are going to be in public and that one day she might be able to watch. And I think for all of us, anybody that has kids especially, but I mean just us and as humans, we need to live our way in such a, or live in such a way that we are not ashamed. People used to say, well, I don't want my mom to know, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not sure that that's actually the same stigma that we're living in right now. So for me, finding that motivation, even just from my daughter, in a way that's like, you know what, like, man, like, I really want to live up to the best of my ability so she has something to be proud of. I would encourage everybody in the world to do the same thing, no matter what it is, whether it's a niece, nephew, uncle, friend, whatever. Let's be impressive to those people. But beyond the point, that's a whole nother side nugget. You can go into like biblical stuff and knowing that God can see you in all those dark corners or whatever. That's like a whole nother topic. Let's not dig into that just right now or just yet, whatever. Life goes on. So last weekend we had the TSO shootout. I have a video in the works that I want to give an update for that, but those that are new to the channel, that is the local and regional indoor competition that I shoot in, and started last year with my first ever tournament series, and then this year as well. And not gonna give all those updates right now. I wanna shoot, and I've been talking really, really long. But later on, obviously going to give some type of updates, so it's not just a shooting video, but obviously the main thing is shooting a perfect 30X game on the mini Vegas face. So let's try to accomplish that goal. So, no more talking. First end, clean face, here we come. Left. Oh, I don't know what just happened there. So we're gonna turn this into a warm-up round, just like an actual competition, and then we're gonna get this thing started, because that was not pretty. Yeah. All right, warm-up round is done. Face still looks the same, doesn't it? Let's make sure it's actually recorded. Yep. Official end one, no redos, full send. All right, whatever it is, we're keeping it. So that's end one. Clean. Let's see if we can keep that rolling. End of end two. Yes, I'm claiming this is clean. So, maybe y'all tell me if I'm being too generous for myself. So we claim that as clean. The top one, a little bit sketchy, but when I looked at actually the impact, looked clean, but I'll let you guys judge with it over here. All that being said, we're gonna keep on shooting. I started thinking about everything but my shot, and I'm pretty sure I just shot a 9. Just do your shooting one arrow at a time. That's all you can worry about. End of end 4. All right, end 5. All right, so at this point, this is definitely when I would want to change my target, especially with all of that darkness at the bottom of that top target and all the top left stuff. With all that being said, we are at end 5. This is the checkpoint. I'm going to continue to force myself to talk at this point because this is usually when I go downhill when I talk, and I know I get myself out of the groove. So kind of trying to realize or come to the conclusion that you got to suck it up and work through it. Just like at Lancaster when you have to talk to somebody, I want to be able to shoot just because I can shoot, not because I get lost in some like flow state. And obviously I want to be able to get myself into that and kind of choose to put myself into a good shooting mindset. That being said, one of the shooting form tips that I do actually have, and take it for what it's worth, obviously with my shooting and then having some that were just trending low, especially on that top target, is that when I get locked to low, especially getting prepared for the TSO, I notice like when I get really high determination, I just start pulling on the bow. Sometimes my elbow actually wants to creep up here. Now, is that like a huge deal? For me, it is. The reason why is because like when I start pulling up, it kind of makes everything else drop down. If you can actually see my alignment, when I pull here, kind of drops everything down just ever so slightly where it makes it feel like it's impossible for me to get my pin back up on target. And so one thing that I have to do a really good job of, especially when I start getting into my mind, when stakes start getting high and I start thinking, oh, I'm shooting perfect, I'm shooting good, one of those little checkpoints along the way that I have to personally remind myself of is just keep pulling even, just keeping that elbow here and not getting lost up here. You can even see it on that last one. I think and it's ever so slightly, I'm sure it doesn't even get picked up on the camera, but I can feel it because when I was at full draw, one time I was playing with it, and the only way I was able to come to this conclusion is that I was playing with it and really just being focused on my shot and trying to figure out how to get my bow arm up. And then I realized, like I used to do all the time, no, you aim with the back elbow. And so where my elbow is where I'm going to actually be able to stay steady and stabilize. So whether that's worth it or not for you guys, I have no idea. I know it was a huge, huge bonus for me, especially going into the TSO and while I was able to shoot as good as I did. But all that being said, let's get to the 6th end and keep this thing rolling. Shoot, why did I pull the trigger? Why did I pull the trigger? I felt so good, so good. Not good. Well, it is what it is. It's practice, doesn't even count for anything, right? End number 7. Full send. End 8. A little low. I think we're good. That was an 8. End number 9. But one more arrow to go. Go make that make sense. Oh, that's high. I did not feel good about that shot, and I pulled the trigger anyways for some reason. That felt good. Kind of low, but felt pretty good. Last end. Let's do better than that one. Like a lot better. Triple X game right here. Obviously not today, but Triple X. Calling it right now. Pretty sure those are all X's. I wish I would just have that much determination every time. But now the pressure's on. Can I shoot one more? I hope so. Oh gosh, not a perfect game by any means. But now that I'm talking about shooting another X, weird mental pressure starts leaking in. Not really. But you gotta fake it. Get your heart rate up about some dumb stuff. That way when the time actually comes, it's not a big deal. So here we go. Right in the middle. So I don't look like an idiot. Yeah, pretty sure that's 3 X's. I'll obviously double check that and the score will be showing up right now. But with all that being said, obviously I appreciate you guys for watching it. And if you made it this far, definitely appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, leave a comment, especially when it comes down to your own struggles. I know last year, as I was alluding to before, in regards to the TSO tournament, I did have the gauntlet last weekend. Really, really dope, really, really cool. I know last year I had a really big struggle of dealing with nerves, kind of like I alluded to in regards to the last shooting, last bit of shooting, the last 3 arrows. But when it comes down to actually competing and practicing and trying to get the two to feel the same, obviously it's really hard to get that up. I've heard a lot of competition shooters talk about saying, hey, get around some guys and just compete, whether it be like for $1 or ice cream cone or a drink or whatever it might be, just get some type of adrenaline pumping. Me right now, I don't have a lot of those guys or a lot of people in regards to my archery community. This is kind of my archery community outside of some guys I hunt with. And my next door neighbor, but like a lot of that's more a little more on the side of like fun shooting. And then I have my brother, as you guys have seen on the channel, but he's 2 hours away, so I don't get to shoot with him very often. So a few things that I do to kind of ramp up that type of focus, because I think at the end of the day, all it is focus under pressure, and when things actually matter or making things matter than they actually do. Because at the end of the day, it's a bow, it's an arrow, and a target, just like whether it's foam or paper. So for me, I like to, when it comes down to working out, I know just mentally when I'm going into, let's say I'm in sets of 5, I'll press, and then for some reason the 5th rep, even though I know I'm still fresh, know I still feel good, will feel hard, like impossibly hard. But a lot of that just comes down to mental focus. Same thing here. When it comes down to that last arrow, there are times that I'll let myself feel some type of pressure or jump roping or whatever. And when those times where it's like, oh, I usually mess up when, it's knowing when I usually mess up and then focusing up like that much more to not let that mistake happen. So trying to treat my life deal and putting my archery inside of my real life. For example, today I was doing some jump roping just for my cardio and then did some other circuit. But I know when I got around 23, I would triple over it. I can jump rope all day, but for some reason, because I knew I was jumping for 30 seconds, when I would get to that last little bit of time, I would trip up and then pick it up and then start jump roping. For the longest part of my life, that was okay. But when it comes down to archery and when you only get one opportunity to get it right, why not just get it right? And so I kind of used that as a trainer for my archery. Now, obviously today I did not have the focus through all of my shots. There were plenty of times I was thinking about, oh, what am I gonna say to the camera? How am I gonna say this? So really learning how to still multitask, but then when it comes down to the main thing, keeping it the main thing. So hopefully that actually serves you guys. I know that's the way that I build up my own internal pressure gauge. And I think for the shoot off, it actually worked really, really well. I missed by 1x in regards to getting to the actual top tier. And as I said earlier, that'll be in the next video to kind of outline that. But it was a perfect score, like literally a perfect score. But he was just a little bit more perfect, just for a little teaser for the next video. But with all that being said, remember, be better one arrow at a time, one day at a time. And if you are a follower of Christ, let that man motivate you to be a little bit better, because he can see what you do in the darkest of the dark. So yeah, William Alderman is out. Peace.